my name is Mackenzie and today I'll be taking you through a 10-minute core workout. So what we have today is a bit of a sandwich. So we're going to start with a 1-minute plank and then end with a 1-minute plank, and then in between we only do each movement for 15 seconds. So very doable, but it will get challenging. So like I said, first part of the bread of this sandwich is going to be a plank. So what that looks like is we're going to go onto our hands and feet. We're going to bring the shoulders away from the ears and just try to make a nice straight line from our head to our feet. Option here is you can always drop down to the knees, or you can come up on an elevated surface and do an elevated plank. And then our first movement of the 15 seconds is just going to be crunches. So we're going to have feet on the ground, hips on the ground, and we're really trying to push that lower back into the ground and just bring our shoulder blades off of the ground. So you can have your hands either on your chest, on the ground. It's up to you, but just activating the core, trying to raise our shoulder blades off the ground. And the key here is that we want to try to think of it as more lifting up rather than curling down. We want to lift up. The next movement is going to be painful penguins. So same position. We're actually kind of going to hold that crunch, so lift the shoulder blades off the ground, and we're going to bring our hands from one foot to the other, just tapping. A modification for that would be bringing the legs a little bit closer so you're not having to reach as far. The opposite is also true. You can also move your legs a little bit further, make you reach a little bit farther. Next movement is going to be leg raises, so you can either have your hands out to the sides or under your butt, but we're going to try to keep our legs together, pushing that lower back into the ground and just lifting the legs up and lowering them to about an inch or two above the ground, and then bringing them back up again. Option for this is you can bend the knees, make it more like heel taps on the ground, just to kind of shorten that lever a little bit. Next movement is going to be bicycles, and don't worry, I'll call out all of these movements while we're going through them. But again, activating the core, bringing those shoulder blades off the ground, and then trying to bring the opposite elbow to the opposite knee. The key here is we don't want to be pulling on our head, we just want to have our hands resting on the side. We don't want to be putting tension on our neck. Next movement, we're actually going to flip over back into the plank position, but this time we're going to be on our forearms. So we want our elbows to be under the shoulders. Same principles apply, still want a nice straight line. And this time we're going to be adding in hip dips. So we're going to drop our hips to one side and then the other, trying to keep control of our movements. Then we're going to flip onto one side for a side plank with those dips. So you can either have your feet together or one foot in front of the other, or you can even drop the knee, the bottom knee for the side plank, but we are going to push up, and you can either hold here, or if you want, you can add dips. So bringing the hips down, maybe lightly tapping the ground, and back up. In the next 15 seconds, we're just switching to the other side. Then we have our Superman. So stomach on the ground. We're going to activate our back muscles here, trying to bring the legs and arms as high off the ground as we can, just holding here. Then flipping over for a hollow hold. So it's basically the same thing as that Superman, just on our back. So we're trying to lift our arms, legs off the ground and just hold this position. Modification, we bring in the arms in, then one leg, then both legs. So the key for that last one is just keeping the lower back on the ground. And then we have a 15-second rest. So we have the 2 planks at the beginning and the end. But all of that middle stuff, we're actually going to repeat 3 times. So it's going to be a lot of core with only that 15-second rest at the end of each round. So you should be burning by the end. So let's go ahead and get started with that 1 minute plank in 3, 2, 1. Just trying to hold here nice and strong. Again, we're not doing hip dips here, that's in the middle, we're just holding. So 1 minute here, and then we get into our 15-second movements. Over halfway. Just remember to breathe through this movement, keeping the shoulders away from the ears, back nice and straight. We'll take a 15-second rest, and then we're getting right into our 3 rounds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 15-second rest, and then we're starting our 3 rounds of those 15-second movements. So starting with our crunches. And here you want to try to find a pace that you can maintain for the entire 15 seconds. And go. Next we have painful penguins in 3, 2, 1. Again, just going from side to side. Next we have our leg raises. 3, 2, 1. Leg raises. Again, you can always bend the knees. Just do heel taps. Next we have bicycles. In 3, 2, 1. Next movement is going to be the plank with those hip dips and flip over. So again, we want to try to have quick transition times here because the movement time is so short for each movement. And we're going to the side plank in 3, 2, 1. Side plank with those optional dips. 3, 2, 1. Other side. After this, we have our Supermans. In 3, 2, 1. Superman. Your core should be burning, but it's a short interval. Flip over. But it's a really short time frame, so here we really want to try to challenge ourselves to work for the entire time. And 3, 2, 1. Rest. Okay, we get a 15-second rest, and then we're going to start from the top with those crunches. Just 2 more rounds. Use this first round as a bit of a gauge. Say, could I do a little bit more? Maybe I need to take it down, just so you can keep moving. And crunches. Painful penguins. Next, we have leg raises in 3, 2, 1. An option, either straight legs or knees bent. Next, we have bicycles. And bicycles. is our plank. Flipped over, flip over. We're adding in those hip dips here. Side plank in 3, 2, 1. Again, optional, add those hip drops. And switch in 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Superman in 3, 2, 1. Again, try to lift up as high off the ground as you can. And we're flipping it over for a hollow hold in 3, 2, 1. Roll over. Really focus on pushing that lower back into the ground. We get a rest in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay. 15-second rest. And then we start our last round. And then after that round, we are ending with a 1-minute plank. And crunches. Painful penguins in 3, 2, 1. And leg raises. The key, we really want to push our lower back into the ground. And bicycles. You can even slow it down. Get a hold at the top if you'd like. And flip it over for our plank. Keep pushing here, we're almost done. Side plank and go. Nice work, and switch. And Superman. Less than 30 seconds left of work for short intervals. And flip it over for a hollow hold. Hold it here, we're almost done. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, 15-second rest. Then we're gonna finish it off with a 1-minute plank. And then we're done with this core. So this plank will probably be a little bit more difficult. And go. And then the first one we did. So if you have to drop down to the knees, that is okay. Maybe see if you can drop down to the knees for a few seconds. Then come back up for a few seconds. And then maybe go down. And then up. Just try to challenge yourself, because this is our last minute. Halfway. Keep pushing here. "20 seconds. Hold it here. 15. 10. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice work today. My name is Mackenzie. We just did a little 10-minute core workout. Thank you so much for joining me.